Sabrina Dar. I'm the General Manager for East Africa for the Cisco operation. So Cisco talks about the Internet of Everything being the trend that enables what we talk about, a connected city. What do we mean? So let's just talk about connected first. The opportunity that arises from the fact that only 1% of all devices in the world are connected to the Internet. That means 99% of devices aren't, and what that's going to enable. And if you think about that in a city in particular, what that could enable in terms of improving a citizen experience, increasing employment specifically for Africa, which is a problem that every government has to be able to answer, and how do you improve the healthcare at a reasonable cost for all of those citizens. So connected as a city, when you look at Barcelona, which is our best example, is about deploying services that bring efficiencies, whether that's smart parking, smart waste management, but also about bringing citizen experience online, applying for a license, setting up a business. In Rwanda, that's one of the fastest in the world, actually, not just Africa. And then healthcare, how do you bring experts closer to people when they don't necessarily live in a city? And even if you live in a city and it's difficult to get around, remote expert enables the best of the brains to be able to diagnose problems, be, preemptive in bringing medical attention to citizens. All of those combined are an opportunity that every African city, and in particular in East Africa, that we can grasp today. That's the opportunity that we have with a connected city. So if we look at Kenya, we have specifically in Nairobi 5 million people that are in the city. 1 million of those move in and out, so 1 million travel in every day. And if anyone has been to Nairobi recently, you know that the infrastructure we're using is the same infrastructure when that was 1/8 of the population. And the pressure of those people coming into the city every day to work is enormous. You start just with traffic. I regularly spend, an hour doing what should be a 10-minute journey, and the opportunity to use video for me to connect with my customers and my partners is huge. If you think about the Huduma centres that the Jubilee Manifesto and the government have brought in, they have a fantastic opportunity to bring and improve citizen experience, and we have a good relationship with the government. We're working with them across many ministries where we're looking at healthcare, transportation, citizen experience, but also how the ministries operate, how a cabinet operates. When you look at the president in Rwanda, he's done a phenomenal job in bringing video to just his ministries and his government so that he can make real-time decisions when they need to, without enabling that, without them having to come together face to face. And Cisco knows that we can't do this alone. We're 30 years old in a month's time, and we've built our heritage on partnership. And partnership with companies that have never used IP before, operational technology vendors, is where we believe our strength is, and our ability to partner is not new to us. We've grown up on it, and we're going to continue to do that to bring these solutions to cities and governments in East Africa. So the challenges of deploying a connected city honestly are how quickly we can do it. The technology works great, but when we talk about the Internet of Everything, we talk about connecting data, processes, peoples and things. And that requires a level of planning. Africa in general, Kenya in particular, has the opportunity to leapfrog more developed countries where some of those may be a little bit more robust. But the challenge is how do you bring that together in an organised fashion. I would say skills are another challenge. You need to upskill the capacity so that there are people to deploy these projects, there are people to manage them, there are people to translate that data into information for real-time decision making. And Cisco is very proud of the investment that we've made for 20 years now in our networking academies, and we continue to evolve the curriculum that we share with students across East Africa and Kenya, so that that's now including the Internet of Everything. If you don't have people that can deploy these solutions, that we're never going to get anywhere. So with the partnership of the technology and upskilling the people, really the challenge is just how quickly we can do this. We've talked a little bit, so the benefits that you can derive from a connected city aren't just in the public sector and as a citizen. The private sector is absolutely, where the thoroughbred and where the growth of a country will come from. And actually, they have their own unique challenges of what connected means. Let's just take that down for an example, bring your own device. Every person now, and when you have such a large proportion of your population under the age of 25, as we do in Kenya, have this expectation that their mobile device will work wherever they take it. Their connectivity to Wi-Fi is going to be instant, their ability to download their application, their ability to transact with anything in the cloud. And that doesn't change when they move into work or when they're interacting with the government. And so enterprises have to be able to think about their infrastructure in an architectural approach so that they have the agility to have a service to their employees that enables them to do this. That requires them to think about security. Do they know that that device has come into their environment? Do they know who that device belongs to? Do they understand what, depending on their job grade and their job title, they should have access to get their job done? Do they understand that that device will be then moved to their home, to maybe the coffee shop where the person will still want to interact and do work wherever they are? So as a private enterprise, the opportunity is huge. And if you look at that by vertical, each one in Kenya is really exciting. The financial services, where you see the banking sector and the service provider, the mobile operators coming together to drive innovation, that's extremely exciting. And we're working across both industries with the large players there to just define what that means. When you look at retail, we have 7 to 10 new shopping malls coming up in the next 18 months. Your shopping experience is exactly the same demand from consumers. When you walk into a shopping mall, when you drive into a shopping mall, first of all, you want to be able to find a parking space. You then want to be able to walk around, understand where you're going. You might have targeted advertising that comes to you based on the preferences that you've shared with the retailers that are there. The offers and discounts that may come directly to you that you can take advantage of. And when you look at the utilities, they have their own demands as well. Huge supply chain, huge customer service requirements on those providers, and they won't have had IP intellect maybe in their operating environment as long as perhaps financial services and retail. So how do you bring operational technology and IP technology together? And then transportation. We all know that when you land in a country, your first experience is in the airport, and that has a huge impact on tourism, which for Kenya, we all understand the challenges that have impacted, but as they continue to grow, that needs to be an experience that wows, that grabs, and that enables that industry to grow. And so working with the large airports authorities, the ports authorities, the major airlines, they all need to be thinking about the experience that they're bringing to the consumer, and Cisco is proud of the partnership that we have with all of those different verticals. So Cisco is proud of working on country transformational agendas around the world. Our chairman and CEO, John Chambers, is very proud of working with cities in Europe, in the Far East, in the US, and we're very excited about the work that we're doing both in Kenya and Rwanda. About how we offer connected services that enable and enhance the connected citizen. But not just on the technology side, we're working on the upskilling of the population as well. I can't sort of be more specific than that and just talk about watch this space, and we're very excited about what we should have very soon that we'll be able to talk about in public. Sabrina Dar, General Manager for East Africa, Cisco, based in Nairobi. Thank you very much, IT News Africa. Thoroughly enjoyed it.